Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews. Fresh off seeing the episode introduction of My Hero Academia, I'm here to do a review, and before anyone starts, no, I'm not Ang from Avatar, this is just a haircut and I've got a receding hairline. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this review. So, for those that haven't really been reading the manga and are purely seeing this for the first time, the anime does a really good introduction in the sense of it really kind of sets the stage, so to speak, about what's going on in this world. From a manga to anime translation, it does a pretty good job page to page, kind of chapter to episode, but being that the first introduction chapter was actually quite long, this covers probably about 2/3 of it, or close to half of it. So more than likely the second episode, the next episode will cover the second half, and so on and so forth, moving forward from there. Now, to give you guys an idea, I'm guessing based on the being that I'm completely up to date, I've read the chapters, I've done my reviews all on my channel, so do check them out if you are interested, and while you're waiting for the next episode. Based on what we've been told so far, I believe it's 13 episodes that have been kind of released or planned in, scheduled, I guess, ordered, and the introduction. I'm guessing that the anime itself will pretty much go up to the Ultimate Space and Jams arc, which basically there's a few arcs, little mini arcs happen leading up to it. So there's the introduction arc, which is what we're probably going to see straight away, the school and quirk test, and then you've got like this kind of rescue slash ish situation, I should say, that you'll see over the next 13 episodes. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to this. So that's what to expect of the next 13 weeks, without revealing too much and without really saying too much about it, spoiling it, right? So let's review what we've seen so far. So what we know that from a very young age, the main character Izuku Midoriya has always wanted to be a hero and go to the school that is a high school for heroes. He's currently in middle school, and since the child, he's been wanting to be a hero. He's always been a fan of All Might, the guy who's the #1 hero at the moment, who pretty much is a cross between Superman and Captain America. Very, American, very blonde, bleached hair, very muscular and strong, and I do the right thing and I'm a hero. That kind of, really is that kind of guy. He even names his moves and his techniques after places in America. I think the one they uses in this episode is the Texas Smash, which is so powerful. Just the wind pressure from that blows back the enemy. So he's a very clean cut type of character in that regards. So which is why he's #1. I used to go from a young age. We used to watch his introduction videos on YouTube, without the U, so it was your tube. And nice way to include it without really getting done for copyright, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much what they were doing. He was watching YouTube clips of his hero from a very young age. He's a fourth, I think it would be a fifth generation, so both his parents had quirks. In the manga translation, there wasn't really much talk about that, so that was added in, although it is canon information, because later on we do get told that. As well as father's information wasn't really completely given, and we don't really see his father in the manga. So there are some slight differences, anime to manga, basically. For the most part, the remainder of the story is pretty much the same. Him getting bullied by Bakugo as a child is like the beginning of the chapter normally. Growing up, the whole thing in the school with Bakugo is pretty much the same. And really at this point, you think Bakugo is a douchebag, right? He's not very likable at this point. You'll see later on he isn't as bad if you read the manga, but you'll understand when you get to that. But in any case, so we see that he kind of gets bullied. He doesn't have a quirk. He at a very young age, even though his parents both have quirks, for some reason he doesn't, and he's seen as abnormal in a world full of supernatural beings, where 80% of the population have supernatural powers. So now it's a flip. So I guess people that don't have supernatural powers are seen as weird, even though normally supernatural powers would be considered weird in the real life situation. So it explains that, it got to a point where it was considered normal. Being a superhero is a job. Villains came out because powers came about. And we really see that. We see Kamui, a woodman, kind of try to fight against this big ass alligator looking dude who was basically a purse snatcher but transformed out of rage, and then this Mount Woman comes and basically steals the glory. So all that kind of stuff is kind of cool, you know. And then you got Izuku Modori, who's like a geek, and he's writing down notes saying, "Oh yeah, that'll be interesting. That's its weakness." And he really does all this to be a superhero. He analyzes everything: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, strategies, everything. He's looking at the whole thing because he wants to be a hero. And we don't get to see much just yet, but he wants to go to the Hero Academy, which is basically like the elite for them. So kind of like a boarding school for the elites and the rich, like you have in the real world. This is kind of the thing, but you've got like a 0.2% approval rate, so very few people get to go to this elite school for superheroes. So a rule has been taken out now, which means that even though Izuku Midoriya doesn't have a quirk, doesn't have a special power, providing he pass the entrance exam, he can go to that school. So it's an exciting stuff. We see that he gets to meet his hero, All Might. And there's like a funny scene when All Might's just about goes, "I'm running out of time." He looks back and he realizes Izuku's stuck on his leg. And he goes, "I want to ask you so much." And his mouth is like flaring because of the pressure, and his eyes are watering and everything. And it ends with him asking the question, "Can I be a hero without having a quirk? Can I be a hero like you?" And that's how it ends. So this is about 32 or 33 depending on the actual website and translation you look at. If you do want to read on for next week, if you're giddy with excitement, I'm looking forward to it. I was hoping it would do more, but from my translation point, it does pretty well, because if they do a season every year, by the time it gets down the road where it gets to about 200-300 chapters, we'll get to a point where we can have a bit of a longer stretch of series, and it would get into the nitty gritty stuff. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to a brilliant introduction to the anime series. I thoroughly enjoyed it, being that I'm a fan of the series from the manga point of view anyway. Let the next episode come. Unfortunately, it's a week away, but I'll see you then. But if you've enjoyed the episode, if you enjoyed my review, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. See you later.